This video is in response to a couple of questions I've had from section 9.3 about the chi-square distribution. Okay, so this problem talks about Sir R.A. Fisher, who developed the chi-square distribution having to do with a critical value of the z-score, and you're given a formula. Then you're asked to use the Fisher's approximation to find the chi-square at 95% and 5% with 90 degrees of freedom. So there's a lot of words in here, but it's actually a super simple process using StatCrunch. So let's open up StatCrunch. Okay, so here's StatCrunch opened, and to get to the chi-square distribution calculator, we go to calculators and we select chi-squared. So it's pronounced it's spelled chi, but we say chi-square. So we click on that. Now, degrees of freedom is abbreviated as DF. So we're told that we have a scenario with 90 degrees of freedom. So we say 90. Now, if you're given an N instead of a degrees of freedom, where N is the number of outcomes per trial, then your degrees of freedom is just N minus 1. So we put in our degrees of freedom, and you can just hit compute right there. So here's the chi-square calculator. Now what we want is we want to know chi-square to the right and to the left. So 0.05 and 0.95, that goes in here. So let's start, and we want to look at to the right here first. So let's do greater than or equal to 0.05. All right, so remember when we're asked to find this value, we're looking for the value on the x-axis where 0.05% of the curve is above that number. So that's this number right here. So your answer for 0.05 is going to be 113 point and then however many decimal places they want. And then 0.95, well, that's 95% of the curve above it. So we can say 95 like that. And so here 95% is above it. And so that's 69 point and then however many decimal places. Now they ask that we compare this to a table of the chi-square values, and that's because in the past, before we had these awesome calculators, all people had were tables, and so it's just sort of an exercise in understanding how close the chi-square distribution table is to the calculated value from this calculator. So that's table 8 in your textbook, and it's in the appendix. So you have to go into My Lab Statistics and go into the textbook and find the table. Okay, so here, My Lab Statistics, you click on eText on the left here. You can view the eText for your course. It opens up another window. And so in the window, if you click on this little icon here, we get a table of contents. We scroll down all the way down to Appendix A, which has all of our tables. And then we're looking for Table 8. Okay, here we are at Table 8. You can always bookmark it so that later you can just find it by going to your bookmarks. And so for Table 8, we have a degrees of freedom of 90, and we're looking for the 95, which is the one we just found. So in the table, the value is 69.126, and when we used the StatCrunch calculator, we got 69.126. So you can see that they're almost identical using the table or using the StatCrunch calculator. I hope this helps.